Somebody asked me if I had ever had any paranormal experiences. Is there someone in the house? What is this? Why is this fan just like randomly turning on? Why is it scooting across the floor? Who's doing this to me? Am I alone in my house? I'm literally thinking to myself, oh Lord, I guess grandma got hot because she's in there turning on the fan. I just want to eat the insides of this. Is that weird? Hey y'all, it's Brandon. I'm 1/3 of the SouthernSnackers, y'all, and I'm coming at you today with a Chipotle Mukbang. Y'all, I have so much food. I'm so excited. I hope y'all are ready to crunch with me on some chips. I got 2 large orders of chips because y'all, I'm starving today. First of all, if you're new to the SouthernSnackers, be sure to go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we upload new videos. It's usually me, my pals Bucky and Emily, but y'all, today it's just me. We are so excited. You guys have been watching these solo mukbangs. You've been showing us so much love, and we appreciate it so much. But y'all, I'm ready to grub on some Chipotle. I've got a taco salad here. I've got a burrito with chicken and steak. I've got 2 large orders of chips. I got queso, guacamole. I got some corn salsa, which looks so good. And then I got, y'all, Mr. Pibb. Who out there loves Mr. Pibb? Mr. Pibb is kind of similar to Dr. Pepper, but I like it way better than Dr. Pepper because it doesn't have that same burn, like too much carbonation like Dr. Pepper seems to have for me. But anyway, I love Mr. Pibb, y'all, and there's not many places you can find it, but they have it at Chipotle. So I'm excited about that. And as I eat, y'all, I'm going to be answering some questions because last time in my last mukbang, which is the Domino's, cheesy bread, pizza, wings, all that, if you haven't watched that, be sure to check it out. I asked you guys to ask me some questions in the comments that I would address in this mukbang, and so that's what we're going to do today. A few of you wrote some questions in, and so I'm going to answer those today. But yeah, let's dig right in. Oh my God, y'all. Chipotle's burritos are huge. This is insane. Actually, let me go ahead. Y'all, I got a plate here to put my chips in because I thought maybe y'all be able to see them a little better that way. So let me go ahead and just do that. How's that? And then y'all look, I got a little kids meal and they give you this tiny little bag of chips. It's hysterical. And it says, chip, chip, hooray. Can y'all see that? It's cute. Okay. Y'all, look at this giant. I mean, this is crazy. Okay, y'all, so I got a taco salad with chicken. It's got tomato salsa, corn salsa, sour cream, cheese. Take a good look at this, y'all. They load it up with some stuff. Yum. So I got that, and then I got this huge burrito with chicken and steak, which you can see is just like massive. And then I got this huge plate of chips, y'all. I got another large order waiting, so we'll see. I got some queso, some guac, some corn salsa, and some honey, something Chipotle honey vinaigrette or something, which I'm not really sure about, so we're gonna try today and see what happens. Anyway. Oh, y'all, that Mr. Pibb is so good. Okay, let's get to snacking, y'all. So like I said, in my last little mukbang, I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and you did. It came through. So I'm going to answer a few of them. So a question that we've been getting a lot lately is, do we have any more collabs planned in the near future? And the short answer is yes, we do, but nothing really that solid yet, so we're still like working on some stuff. You guys saw like our stuff with Tyler Ramey. He was amazing, so much fun. Oh my God, now we're like best friends. We text all the time. We're hoping to plan to get together again soon. Hopefully we're gonna bring him here to Charlotte. And then we recently collabed with Prissy P, who was like so amazing. Just like the sweetest person. Oh my God, she was so nice. Just instant friends. It was so great. And we hope to make more relationships like that in the mukbang community. So, you know, we're hopeful that some more will come through soon. We're working on it, so we'll see. There's so many people we would love to collab with. You know, it's just kind of like a logistic thing because there's 3 of us and planning the travel and everything because it's either bringing people here or us going there. But yeah, We would love to collab with Sauce Queen. We would love to collab with Nikocado. Obviously, Belove's Life will be amazing. Yeah. Who will be? But yeah. That's the thing about the mukbang community is like everybody is so supportive of one another, and it really is such a collaborative community, which we find out very quickly. I mean, we've just been doing this a little bit over 6 months, and I mean, that just kind of happened for us naturally, and it really is amazing how supportive everybody is of each other. Yeah, anyway, so back to your burning questions. One person asked, what is my profession? And what other jobs I've had. So my current profession is, I work in marketing promotions here in Charlotte. I love it. It's such a fun job, specifically in the entertainment industry. So I get to kind of bring people, you know, fun experiences in the arts and culture. You know, honestly, just try to get them to buy tickets. I work with artists a lot on like press stuff. It's really, really a fun job. I love it. Jobs I've had in the past, honestly, this job kind of fell into my lap, and I've just been kind of rocking it out ever since. I was an intern after college. Actually, between the junior and senior year of my college, I was an intern where I currently work, and they hired me after I graduated, so that was amazing. In college, in the summers, I waited tables, and in high school, I waited tables in an Italian restaurant and then at a winery where I waited tables and like helped run the wine tastings and stuff, which was a really fun job. I also delivered pizzas, which I talked about in my last mukbang, and worked at a pizza place when I was in high school called Pizza and Sub Express in the tiny little town where I grew up. It was so fun. But yeah, and so I feel like really, I'm really, really grateful that I worked in the food service industry, because y'all, it's a hard job. And I think it's something that everybody should have to do, because everybody eats out. Everybody's getting food all the time. And y'all, it's a hard job. I mean, it's no joke. People can be awful. People can be really sweet too. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed waiting tables. And actually, like, I've considered several times over the past few years, like, if I ever was like wanting to get more money for savings, or, you know, go on a trip or something and save money, I've always said like, oh, like I could totally wait tables and make some quick money, because I loved waiting tables. Oh my God. This is so good. Can y'all see that? Like all the goodness is in there. Woo, it's got a kick. It's got a kick to it, y'all. Oh my God. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Whew. Lord, that is spicy. Y'all, let me just get this out of the frame. Whew. But yeah, I love waiting tables. It was a really fun job. Then also in college, I had a work study. It was actually kind of interesting. So the college that Bucky and Emily and I, we all went to where we met, they have a really, really solid programs for kids with disabilities, or for students with disabilities. And so I actually worked in that department, in that program, and what I did during my work study, which I worked like, I don't know, 12 hours a week or something, was super simple. But we would scan textbooks, and this was for students who were blind, and we would scan textbooks into this program that would like convert them into like an audio program where the kids, like the student, I don't keep saying kids because we were in college, y'all. We were like adults. Students could have their textbooks read to them instead of you know, having to read them. Since they were blind, they couldn't see to read them. And so what we would do is we would scan them. They'll go in this program, And then we would go back through and make errors because sometimes it would read words as like, I don't know, like it would read cat as like cot or something sometimes, depending on the font the book was written in. And so that's what I did for my work study. And it was really fun. It was tedious work having to sit there and like scan through like an entire textbook, but it was fun. I don't know, it was kind of cool too, because like at the end of the day I felt like, oh, it was for, you know, it's like a really good thing that this program does. And so it felt kind of nice to be connected to something, you know, that felt like a good service project. But anyway. So what do y'all get when you go to Chipotle? I would love to know. Put in the comments what you usually eat there. Y'all, that burrito has got a lot of kick to it. And I'm not a huge fan of spicy food, so woo! It's giving me a... My lips are on fire! Another question that I got was, what is my favorite food to cook? That's hard. I would say that the food that I probably cook the most often is like a taco salad type situation. Which is super simple. It's not really like cooking. But I eat that a lot. I also love to cook something called chicken stew, which I want to do a chicken stew mukbang for you guys so you can like see it and kind of experience it, because I think you would like it. But anyway, it's something that's kind of like unique to the area that I'm from in North Carolina. But it's like chicken soup, but it's not like soup. It's basically nothing but, you like, what you do is you cook like a whole chicken or like chicken breast with the skin and everything on, and the bones, because you got to have all that to make it like the broth rich. But you basically boil that, you cook it, you debone it, you leave your broth that you cooked it in, you put the chicken back in, and then you just add whole milk, and you add some butter, and you add some flour for your thickening. And what I do is I put some milk and some flour in like a quart jar, and I put the lid on it, I shake it up really good, which makes a thickening, which you put in the soup, which makes the soup a little creamier. And that's it. And then a lot of people like flavor it with like black pepper, crushed red pepper, or Texas Pete, stuff like that. And it's really, really simple to make. But people are always like, this is nothing but like milk and chicken. I'm like, yeah, but it's good. So that's one of my favorite things to cook. And then the question I got that I'm probably the most excited about answering is, somebody asked me if I had ever had any paranormal experiences. And the answer is yes. So, we'll have a little story time, and I'll tell you about some of my paranormal experiences. So, let me just start off by saying, if somebody ever asks me the question, do you believe in ghosts? I always say yeah. Now, do I believe in ghosts in like the super traditional, you know, meaning of ghosts? I don't know. But I believe that there is paranormal activity on Earth in some way. Some kind of spiritual activity. I just feel like there's too much stuff out there that's happened that like has no explanation other than it's something paranormal. So that being said, the place I lived at before in Charlotte, I had a roommate named Tim. We lived in this really old, like, duplex. Like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It was super old, super, like, basic. Like, you know, I would say probably built in like the 30s or 40s, something like that. Just like a basic 2-bedroom, had like hardwood floors, you know, all the original stuff. Really, really old place. But it was super cheap. So we lived there for a few years. Well, I know this was going to sound weird, but like I always have, when it comes to paranormal stuff, like I can kind of sometimes get the feeling that I'm like sensing a presence, if that makes sense. So like, more so than me like seeing a ghost or like seeing a person, you know, and there being like an actual physical entity there. I oftentimes like feel an energy. And so we moved in this place, not long after it. I told Tim one day, I was like, and he like hated to talk about this stuff because it like freaked him out. And I was like, Tim, I really feel like in this apartment, there's like this energy that's like an elderly woman, like a caretaker kind of vibe. Like a good old Southern grandma kind of energy, you know? Like nurturing, warm, inviting, you know, like a caretaker. And he was just like, you're so crazy, you're so crazy. But I swear, y'all, I could feel it sometimes. Like when I was in the kitchen cooking, I could just like feel like this presence, and like it was almost like she was in there with me. It was weird. Well, one day, so I'm super hot-natured, which is something that all my friends know about me. So I get really hot really easily. I love to be cold. And out in the living room where we like watch TV and stuff, I had a little fan. It was like a little metal fan, like this big, a little stand. And I had it sitting right in front of the TV so that when I was watching TV, because it was like in the summer, and sometimes like the cooling system would just, when it was like 105 outside, you know, it takes a while for it to like catch up and stuff. So I'd have a fan that I would just point literally right at me while I was watching TV. Well, it's one day, I was like cleaning my bedroom, and I suddenly heard something, like a vibrating noise coming from the living room, and I was like, what the heck? Well, I went out there, and that fan had been turned on, and was vibrating, like literally like across the floor, like in front. It was like bzzz, just like moving, and I was like, okay, that's weird. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it was like a fluke, whatever, super strange. So, and Tim wasn't home at this point. It was just me there. So I go back out there, I turn it off, I sit it back in its original position, I go back to cleaning. Well, five minutes later, bzzz, there it goes again. And so I'm like, is there someone in the house? What is this? Why is this fan just like randomly turning on? Why is it scooting across the floor? Who's doing this to me? Am I alone in my house? It was just like really creepy. And so I was like, okay, that's weird. So I was like, I'm gonna do it one more time. I put it back where it came from. I put it back where it belonged. I turned it off, put it back, go back to my room. This time it was about 30 minutes, a little bit longer. And there it goes again. I hear it again. I'm like, it's like, bzzz. I'm like, oh my God, no way. I go back out there. Sure enough, the fan is on high. It's like going across the floor. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm literally thinking to myself, oh Lord, I guess Grandma got hot because she's in there turning on the fan. Because I'm thinking the whole time it's her just messing with me. Or she's just hot. And maybe she needed to cool off, so she turned on the fan just like me. But, so then y'all, I had to unplug it. Well, I unplugged it. Didn't happen again. Continued to use the fan for the rest of, you know, the whole time I lived there. It never happened again. So y'all, that to me was really strange and super unexplainable. Anyway, so that's one story. Second story. I need to mix up my salad. It's funny because when I get like a Mexican salad or like a taco salad from like a Mexican place or like Chipotle or something like that, I hardly ever eat it like an actual salad. I dip in it, which I think we've actually done a Chipotle Mukbang and I talk about it there. So second story about the paranormal. So, like you know, we're from the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. Well, about 30 minutes from where I'm from, there's this place called the Trivet Clinic. Which I think you can look up. But, it's called the Trivet Clinic. Basically, it's this old, big, like, Lord? It's this old, big, like, 2-story building in the middle of the country, y'all. I mean, in the middle of the country. It used to be, like, when it was first built, it was like a mental institution. And this was, like, back in, I think, like, the early 1900s or something. Now, we all know that lots of progress has been made when it comes to like mental illness and psychology and psychiatry. And y'all, God forbid they thought you were crazy in like the 1920s, because y'all, they would put you in a place like the treatment clinic and they would do some crazy shit to you. Oh, sorry. They would do some crazy crap to you. And basically that's what happened there. Anyway, so it was like a mental institution that shut down. Then years later, someone bought it, kind of renovated the first floor of the place, and turned it into like a like what was described to us as like a almost like a country club restaurant type situation, like a private restaurant or something. It was there for a while, and basically some freaky stuff happened to the point to where the owners of the restaurant were like, all right, freak this, we're not doing this no more, you know, we gotta shut it down. Like, just crazy stuff would happen. Like, you know, glasses breaking randomly, people getting touched, just some weird stuff. Well, fast forward to today. These guys own it. I think there's like a nursery, like a garden nursery on the premises now. And they just kind of bought the land that the building happened to be on and kind of inherited the building. Well, since they've owned it, they've brought in all these like ghost people, you know, like paranormal investigators, that kind of thing. Anyway, it's high on the paranormal activity chart. Well, certain nights of the year, they'll open it up and they'll bring like a team of paranormal investigators in, and you can like kind of tag along. So I did that. Well, basically, the place is haunted. Really, really freaky. Like, balls will just, like, roll by themselves. It's really weird. Like, they would do this thing where they would, like take, like, a light of some sort and, like, take the batteries out or whatever, and then they would, like, communicate with the spirit, and, like, they would, like, ask it questions, and then sometimes, like, the light would turn on, whatever. And sometimes it wouldn't. So when that happened, I was kind of like a skeptic. I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, somebody could be sat there with, like, a remote, like, playing with it, you know, that kind of thing. I was like, okay, that seems weird. Now, the balls moving by themselves, I was like, okay, there's no explanation for that. That's just weird. Well, we're going on the tour, and so the main floor has been renovated, you know, to be the restaurant. Well, the top floor is still, like, it looks like a pure psych ward. You know, you go in, it looks like a hospital. Lots of tile, lots of sterile walls. You know, there's, like, little, like, dividers still there. I think there were, like, maybe even some hospital beds. Just, like, freaky. Like, real old hospital stuff. And then the basement is where things really took a turn. So, you got on the stairs. The basement's just, like, a big open area with, like, cinder block walls, you know, like a basement. And there was, like, I guess, like, I can't remember the name of the entity, but there was, like, a known person that lived in the basement. I think it was, like, a child, like a little girl. And they kind of knew that that was, like, the spirit that was down there, whatever. Anyway, so we go down there, and they have chairs that we're all sitting in like, a circle, and, like, they're doing the things again with, like, the balls and the flashlight or whatever. They invited you to, like, sit on the stairs and take photos where, like, when you did that, and I did that, and it was real. You know how people say, like, spirits kind of manifest in photos as, like, orbs, like, the little dots with, like, the kind of, like, almost looks like a lens flare, but it's, like, a weird, like, little dot with, you know what I mean. Anyway, so they invite you to, like, sit on the stairs, and you can take a photo. And y'all, every photo that's taken there is just, like, lit up with, like, little orbs. It's crazy. But, anyway, so we're sitting in the circle, doing the thing. And, you know, they tell us, they're like, this is, like, the most active, part of the house. You know, this is, like, where we think maybe this, like, I guess, like, the mischievous spirit is, or, like, I don't want to say evil, but, like, you know, maybe the one that's not so inviting. Not like the grandma that was at my apartment in Charlotte. But, so, we're sitting in our little circle, in our chairs, and we're, like, doing the thing. Suddenly, and there's, like, nothing behind me either. It's just, like, I'm sitting, like, right near the cinder block wall. And there's, like, literally nothing. Suddenly, I feel it's like somebody's kicking the leg of my chair. Like, trying to physically kick my chair out from under me. So, of course, I'm like, what the? You know, and I, like, stand up, and I'm like, okay, something just knocked my chair. Like, what was that? You know, I'm thinking, okay, like, somebody's trying to play with me, whatever. Because my mom and, like, her friend are right beside me. And I'm like, okay, like, y'all are being stupid, whatever. Well, they're like, no, you know, nobody's doing anything. What are you talking about? And I was like, well, something is like I felt like my chair was moving and I was not moving my chair. They're like, oh, you know, that's happened before, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, this is freaky. So I sit back down. Basically, it gets more aggressive. Like, it literally felt like someone was trying to kick my chair out from under me. Oh. And, you know, that's something I experienced firsthand. There's no explanation. I mean, I don't know the explanation if there is one that's, like, physical and, you know, real or whatever, but there was something down there and it was kicking my chair. And that's, you know, that's that. And it was freaky. And I want to say that, like, that area, the basement, is like where they would keep the children who were in the hospital. And there were like still like chains and stuff like on the walls, like where they would, I guess, like kind of detain them or like restrain them. And anyway, it was freaky. Oh look, I just want to eat the insides of this. Is that weird? Can y'all see that falling out of there? It's like, ooh. I just like want all the meat to come out so that I can just eat the inside. Or better yet, actually, so I can like dip my chips in what's on the inside. Yes, this is what I want to do. Y'all look at that. Look at the insides of that burrito. And see, I love to dip, so I'm going to dip my chips in that now. You know, save some carbs. Well, that's stupid, because now I'm dipping chips in it, but whatever. But yeah. Those are my paranormal stories. So I hope they were riveting. I feel like they seem kind of boring now that I've told them, but I don't know. In the moment, you know, things are weird. But in the house I live in now, we actually know that the previous owner died in the house. And I've always kind of wanted, I know it sounds weird, but I've always kind of selfishly wanted like there to be some kind of, you know, paranormal activity, but there's not. Bro. I guess the lady who owned this house before went peacefully. Which is funny. Her name was Pearl. Not long after we first moved in, Bucky was like helping clean out the attic and stuff because there was like still some stuff out there. And I was like, if y'all ever heard of the movie, like, or the book, I think it's the book Flowers in the Attic. It was like a really like B, like Lifetime movie a while back. Anyway, it was good. But he like threw out these like plastic flowers that were up in the attic in like a trash bag. And I was like, Bucky, you did not throw out Pearl's flowers in the attic. Because I was thinking to myself, if there's one thing you can do to piss off a ghost, it's throw away their flowers in the attic. Because, honey, you don't mess with that. Mmm. Yo, this salad is good. Yummy, yum. Yo, I think my neighbors were like yelling across my yard at each other. Not in like a bad way. So if y'all hear some weird voices, it's not anything weird and paranormal, it's just my neighbors. Y'all, I'm getting a full. Hitting a wall. This is so good though. Everything is just like, from Chipotle, everything is just so like flavorful. I mean, like just this corn, it's like, it looks like it's just corn, onion, cilantro, maybe some pepper. Well, it's so good. I bet you can make that at home, easy. I'm gonna have to look that up. Lord, let's drop some corn. Well, here's what's left of my burrito. That's all that's left. Woo! Woo! I am full, y'all. But I've got a lot of chips and dips. This corn salsa, I'm like obsessed with this. I didn't even try the vinaigrette. Let me try that. I think I was supposed to put it on my salad, but like I said, everything else is so flavorful that I feel like I don't need it. Oh, I'm not a fan of that. No. Oh. You can taste the honey, which is weird, because it's like, you can also taste like the Chipotle flavor, and it's like, oh, whatever. Woo! I'll sit down with my good old Mr. Pibb. Well, y'all, it's been fun, but I gotta go. I'm full. I got things to do, y'all. But thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the Southern Snackers here on YouTube. Go follow us on Instagram at SouthernSnackers. We're really active on Instagram. We love to talk to people. We love to talk to our fans on there. It's really fun to communicate with you guys. And hit us up in the DMs, because we will hit you back. Whether it's me, Becky, or Emily, one of us will. Anyway, so thanks so much for joining me today, y'all. This has been fun. Go get you some Chipotle, y'all. Highly recommend it. It's so good. It always hits the spot, y'all. It never fails. So, yeah. So, thank you for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get all the future notifications when we upload new videos. And, y'all, be sure to be on the lookout for some really cool stuff coming soon. We've definitely got some videos that you do not want to miss. So, anyway, yeah. Thanks for joining me, y'all. And remember, like we like to say, not that. When life gets tough, just keep keep on snacking, y'all. Bye. Thanks for joining me. Oh.